TIFU by seeing if my wife was cheating on me. I wanted to make my wife a surprise and hid in a closet. She came home with a 250 pounds plus guy and I was stuck in the closet. This was spring 2019. My wife decided in her later 20s to return to university to get her master's degree. This unfortunately meant taking a couple semesters of classes on campus about 3 hours away from our home, so she had to get a small apartment and stay there during the week. At first, the distance away from each other was difficult for the both of us. We'd talk for at least an hour every night, and she couldn't wait to get home on the weekends. Then one evening she went out with some people from school and ended up drinking way too much, but said she had a good time nonetheless. She started going out more and more, and our conversations got shorter and shorter. Then she'd want to stay there the odd weekend due to too much homework but would end up going out with friends. She seemed to be more and more distant, was dressing differently, putting a lot more effort into her appearance, etc. I've always had issues with trust that kind of went away when we met, but they started coming back and were becoming really difficult to suppress. At a particularly low point for me, I hatched an ill-conceived plan to surprise her by going to visit unannounced on a Friday when she had said she was staying the weekend. I figured I'd get there before she was done classes, hide in her apartment with flowers, and surprise her, best case. Worst case, I catch her cheating on me, or find condom wrappers or something and can follow through on every insecure guy's fantasy of kicking the guy's butt, or really telling their girlfriend/wife off in the moment, or whatever. It hit me how ridiculous I was after about 20 minutes of hiding in her closet. WTF would any sane woman think of her husband hiding in their closet to surprise them? I was considering my options and thinking about just forgetting the whole thing ever happened and driving the 3 hours home when I heard keys in the door. Then playful giggling. Then kissing noises and moaning. I started getting angry, building myself up to go kick this guy's butt when into the room she walked with probably a 250+ pound guy, built like a linebacker. I was frozen with a whole lot of emotions, the most intense of which being regret as I calculated every possible scenario involving me leaving that closet, none of which seemed slightest bit favorable. So I stayed in there. And I got to listen/watch them get undressed, and witness my wife go to work on him, and tell him what she thought about him and his Johnson. Then the ducking started, and didn't stop for at least an hour. Then they laid their pillow talking for a while before she started working on him again, and then another hour of ducking. Finally they left to go to dinner, and I got the duck out of there. I ended up confronting her, not admitting what had happened, but saying I'd come to her apartment to visit and heard them from the hallway. She admitted to that and others, and we split up. I've spent the past year dealing with it, but am just starting to realize the absurdity of the whole thing to the point I can kind of chuckle about it. Once a cheater, always a cheater. An epic story of revenge on my ex. This is kinda long but it's worth the read. So I'd been on and off with this girl for a while. She was smoking hot, solid 9/10. Her and I just kind of clicked right off the bat and it felt very natural. She seemed pretty smart too, felt like I lucked out. Boy was I wrong. We were at that awkward friends but not friends stage for about half a year and then one night she drops the L-bomb. I'm totally cool with it too, let her know I feel the same way. We date for about a year. Then shit gets weird. I post some stupid cute comment on her Facebook picture, just trying to be sweet, and this dude comes in telling me I'm too slow on the draw and he's Prince Charming. Red flags now, this dude sounds pretty confident. The we've been talking about stuff kind of confident. Confront her about it and she insists they are just friends, yay, right, and they just started talking last month. I'm not stupid. Tell her either she cuts contact with him or I'm walking. She chooses the latter because he's a really great guy. Okay, whatever. I'll get over it. Just another woman hell-bent on wasting my time. About a month later she comes crying back and insists she loves me and we are meant to be together and that guy was such a dick, he fucked her and bailed from what I understand. I know she's full of shit but on the off chance she's serious, I have her swear that she loves me and there's no going back this time. Enter Matt Vanguard, Dota 2 players will get the reference. I set up a fake profile with a sizable library of handsome photos from some random guy I found online. Then I add enough info and friends to make it believable, then add her and start chatting her up on this fake account. She swears left and right that this time is different, meanwhile Matt is scoring her number and setting up a date. I had an alternate phone number thanks to Text Plus, free text and calling. I'm fucking pissed. It takes a real heartless cunt to sit there confessing their love to someone they've been with a year and a half while simultaneously setting up a date with someone else they've never even met and know nothing about. Yay, I'm definitely burning this shallow bitch to the ground. And I even did my best to make Matt sound like kind of an idiot and kind of an asshole. She dropped the babe word for example and Matt responded with "Don't call me that again, got it?" I'm not your babe. So she's going to school and takes the bus back and forth. I know her classes run pretty late, and buses don't run forever, you know? So Matt is going to pick her up after school in his super fancy car and take her on the most romantic date of her life, or at least that's what she thinks. He conveniently doesn't get off work until about an hour after she gets out of class. She says that's fine and she'll just study until Matt arrives. Meanwhile, I'm asking her, as myself, if she wants to hang out, and she says she has some extracurricular thing going on and her friend is going to give her a ride home. Ha ha ha, fuck you. So she hits up Matt. Hey, are you almost here? If not, I have to take the bus because they stop running soon. You can tell she's a little annoyed. He says. Yay, sorry, I had to do overtime. We were super busy tonight. I'm leaving now. Okay, can't wait to see you. Smile. Oh, you can. You can and you will. Time drags by. Matt is now an hour late. He's super apologetic and he's speeding to the school to go get her. Fuck. I just got pulled over. I shouldn't have been speeding, but I felt bad for being late. Frown. Seriously? Wow. We'll get here as soon as possible. Time keeps ticking and she is pissed at that point. Matt is hours late. Finally, I break the news. Sorry, I don't go out on dates with lying whores. What? What are you talking about? This isn't Matt. This is Anon. You guys know each other? No. I set you up to see if you were still an unfaithful cunt. And you are. Then she has the fucking nerve to tell me she wasn't actually going to meet up with him. Are you fucking kidding me? Don't talk to me anymore. And I suggest you start walking. I think you missed your bus. Months go by and she hits me up. She's very apologetic and says the whole incident has been replaying in her mind. I tell her I appreciate it and I'm willing to be friends, but I have a girlfriend. I didn't, and even if I didn't, I wouldn't date her again. She says she understands. And the subject of our falling out comes up another day. She says her 3-hour walk of shame was the worst she's ever felt in her life. Good. It was the best I've ever felt in mine. TL, dear lying cheating ex-girlfriend tries to cheat on me with an imaginary guy and finds herself making a 3-hour walk of shame instead. It's not over the top at all. That's what I like so much about this story. She didn't lose her job. She wasn't humiliated in front of her family. Her friends probably didn't even notice. She just had to go on a small hike. It takes a special kind of evil to come up with that kind of giant setup only to give her a little nudge like that. With that amount of effort, he could have made her life miserable for years. That's right, Brutta Vanguard. Also the name of the squad of people who would die most often in battles, according to my fantasy novels. I'm going to make an alias of John Bogle and see if my girlfriend is a gold digger with a high financial IQ and interest in index funds.